My sister sent me a casual text saying I wasn't invited to her dream wedding. I'd already deposited $30,000 and was about to spend another $63,000. I simply texted back, "Congratulations. I'm sure it will be beautiful." 3 days later, I got 187 missed calls begging me not to ruin her special day. But me? I was too busy enjoying my spa weekend to pick up. Tuesday afternoon, 2:40 p.m. I was in a budget meeting presenting Q4 projections when my phone buzzed. Olivia's name on the screen. Hey sis. So Ethan's family is super traditional about guest counts, and we had to make some tough cuts. The venue only allows 30 people total, and we're doing 8 from each family. You're not going to be able to make it, but we'll totally live stream it for you. You'll get the best view, anyway, lol. Thanks for understanding. My hands started shaking. I read it again. Then a third time. The casual tone. The exclamation points. The heart emoji. Like she was canceling a lunch date, not excluding me from the wedding I was to spend some people's yearly salary to fund. I excused myself from the meeting, went to my office, and closed the door. Then I did the only thing I could manage. I texted back, "Congratulations. I'm sure it will be beautiful." But something was bothering me. The math didn't add up. 8 people from each family? We only had 5 people in our family: parents, me, Olivia, and our brother Leo. That night, I did what any millennial would do. I went to Instagram. Olivia's stories from the past week told a different story. There she was with the guest list, giggling about final head counts, tagging people with "can't wait to celebrate with you." The 8 people representing family. I stared at that list until the words blurred. Included, in addition to my mom, Dad, and our brother Leo, were a work mentor she had known for 8 months, a yoga instructor, and an ex-roommate she'd barely talked to in 3 years. Plus her fiancé's teenage cousin, who apparently counted as Olivia's family now. These people were more family than the sister who'd made this entire wedding possible. The realization hit like ice water. I wasn't family to Olivia. I was a bank account with legs, a problem solver, a safety net. But I wasn't someone worth celebrating with. Sitting in my office staring at that guest list, 8 years of memories came flooding back. Every sacrifice. Every time I put Olivia's needs before my own. Every moment I thought I was investing in our relationship when I was really just enabling her to see me as expendable. Let me paint you a picture of what being the good sister actually looked like. In college, while Olivia was pledging Chi Omega and posting sorority formal photos, I was working at a campus coffee shop from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., then classes, then tutoring rich kids for $25 an hour until midnight. You know what I did with that money? Sent half of it home so Olivia could afford her sorority dues and those spring break trips to Cabo that she'd post about with captions like, "Living my best life." Meanwhile, I was living on dollar ramen and pretending I wasn't hungry. After graduation, Olivia moved to LA to find herself. For 8 months, I covered her $2,200 monthly rent while she took yoga teacher training and tried to become an influencer. 8 months of my own dreams on hold so she could chase hers. Then came her 25th birthday. I surprised her with a Honda Civic, reliable, practical, paid in full. Her reaction? "Oh wow, it's so sensible." She posted about it once on Instagram with a caption, "Grateful," and a single heart emoji. Want to know what happened on my 27th birthday that same month? Olivia forgot. Completely. No call, no text, nothing. I spent it alone in my apartment eating takeout Chinese food and watching Netflix. When Dad needed $12,000 in emergency dental work last year, guess who got the panicked phone call? Not Olivia with her 50,000 Instagram followers. Me. I liquidated my emergency fund without hesitation because that's what family does, right? And for the past 2 years, I've been secretly sending my parents $1,500 every month to keep their restaurant afloat. They think Olivia doesn't know about their financial struggles, but I know she knows. She just pretends not to because acknowledging it would mean she'd have to help. But here's the thing that really kills me, the recognition disparity. When Olivia hit 60,000 followers on Instagram, Mom called everyone she knew. "My daughter is practically famous. She's so creative. She has such an eye for style." The family group chat exploded with congratulations and fire emojis. When I got promoted to senior marketing director. That's nice, honey. Maybe now you can afford to visit more often. My 28th birthday was 3 months ago. My parents forgot. Just forgot. No card, no call, nothing. I found out later they were helping Olivia move apartments that same day. Olivia posted Instagram stories all day about her friends throwing her this elaborate surprise birthday party for someone else, never once mentioning it was her sister's birthday too. Last Thanksgiving, I spent 2 days cooking for 12 people. I planned the menu, bought all the groceries, prepped everything from scratch. The turkey, 3 sides, 2 desserts, homemade rolls. Olivia showed up with a bottle of wine from Trader Joe's. At dinner, Uncle Mike raised a toast to Olivia for bringing the family together. Everyone clinked glasses while I sat there covered in gravy stains, invisible. That should have been my wake-up call. But it took Robert Martinez to finally open my eyes. Robert's a colleague in our digital strategy team. He'd just gotten out of a really toxic relationship, and we'd bonded over late nights in the office and shared war stories about family drama. He's one of those genuinely good people who notices when someone's struggling. Wednesday morning, the day after the text, Robert appeared at my desk with my favorite latte, oat milk cordido with an extra shot. "You look like someone stole your dog," he said, setting the coffee down. "What's wrong?" I told him everything. The wedding, the money, the text message, the guest list. He listened without interrupting, which was already more courtesy than my family had shown me in years. When I finished, he was quiet for a long moment. Then he said something that changed everything. "Ava, you give so much to everyone else. When do you give to yourself?" It was such a simple question, but I couldn't answer it. The drive home that evening was when everything crystallized. 45 minutes in Seattle traffic, just me and my thoughts and the crushing weight of 28 years of being taken for granted. I stopped at the grocery store and bought a bottle of wine I'd been eyeing for a special occasion, a 2019 Willamette Valley Pinot Noir that cost more than I usually spend on groceries in a week. Back home, I poured a glass, sat on my couch, and made a list. Every sacrifice. Every time I chose their needs over mine. Every moment I thought I was building relationships when I was really just building dependency. The pattern was so clear I couldn't believe I'd missed it for so long. That wine, that moment, that clarity, that was the day I stopped trying to earn love from people who saw me as a convenience store. Always open, always available, always giving them what they needed without asking for anything in return. But convenience stores don't get invited to weddings. They just get used until something better comes along. Thursday morning, I woke up with a clarity I hadn't felt in years. No more emotional decisions. No more hoping things would change. Just cold, calculated action. I took a personal day from work and drove straight to my Chase Bank branch on Capitol Hill. I'd been banking there for 6 years, long enough that Carlos, the branch manager, knew me by name. We had that comfortable professional relationship you build when someone watches you grow your savings account from $847 to 6 figures.
Ava.
Good to see you. Carlos smiled as I approached his desk. What can I help you with today? I need to stop payment on several checks and cancel some wire transfers, I said, pulling out my phone with a transaction history. Carlos pulled up my account, his expression shifting from friendly to concerned as he scrolled through the recent activity. Wow, you've been busy. Let me see the Newberry Estate, Premier Events Catering, Harmony Strings. These are all pretty substantial amounts. I need them all canceled. Today. His eyes widened as he calculated the total. $93,000? Ava, are you absolutely sure about this? This will affect multiple vendors. Some of these payments were scheduled for tomorrow. I looked him straight in the eye. Carlos, if my presence isn't valuable, neither is my money. He stared at me, not fully understanding what I meant. But something in my tone must have convinced him this wasn't a rash decision. He nodded and got to work. It'll take about an hour to process everything. I'll need to make some calls to ensure the stop payments go through before any automatic transfers.
Perfect.
I'll wait. While Carlos handled the financial nuclear option, I opened my laptop and began drafting emails. Professional, courteous, devastating. The Newberry Estate got the first one. Due to unforeseen circumstances, I am no longer able to fulfill my financial obligations for the Miller-Williams wedding on Saturday. Please redirect all future communications to Ava Miller. Thank you for your understanding.
Send.
Premier Events Catering, same message, slightly tweaked.
Send.
Harmony Strings, the 8-piece band. Send. Botanical Bliss Floral Design. Send. By the time Carlos finished the banking paperwork, I had systematically redirected every single vendor to Olivia's contact information. The timing was surgical, 5 p.m. on Wednesday, exactly when most businesses close their payment processing for the day. All done, Carlos said, handing me the confirmation paperwork. The stop payments are active immediately. No funds will transfer. Thank you, Carlos. I really appreciate your help. Ava, he paused. I don't know what happened, but I hope everything works out for you. It already has. I drove home through Seattle rush hour traffic, but for once, I wasn't stressed. I wasn't mentally preparing for the next crisis, the next favor, the next emergency that would require my wallet and my time. I was just present. At home, I did something I hadn't done in months. I turned off my phone. Not silent.
Off.
Then I ordered Thai food from my favorite place, the good stuff, not the cheap pad Thai I usually got to save money for family emergencies. Massaman curry with duck, tom kha soup, mango sticky rice for dessert. I was going to feast. While I waited for delivery, I ran a bubble bath. Expensive bath salts I'd bought myself for Christmas and never used because they seemed too fancy for a regular day. Lit candles that had been collecting dust. Poured another glass of that good wine. Netflix had been recommending this true crime documentary series for weeks. I'd never had time to watch it because I was always available for family phone calls, planning someone else's event, or working late to afford someone else's dreams. Not tonight. The Thai food arrived just as I was settling into the bath with my laptop. I ate gourmet curry surrounded by bubbles, watching investigators solve cold cases, and felt something I hadn't experienced in years. Peace. No phone buzzing with requests for money. No texts asking me to fix someone else's problem. No guilt about not being productive enough, giving enough, sacrificing enough. For the first time in years, I wasn't waiting for someone to need something from me. Around 10 p.m., while I was on episode 3 of the documentary, it hit me. This is what contentment feels like. Not happiness exactly, but something deeper. The satisfaction of making a decision purely for yourself and sticking with it. I thought about Olivia, probably just getting home from dinner, maybe checking her phone before bed. I thought about the vendors who would start making calls tomorrow morning when payments didn't process. I thought about the panic that would ensue when she realized what had happened. And I felt nothing. No guilt, no regret, no urge to fix it. Just the warm water, the documentary narrator's soothing voice, and the absolute certainty that I had done the right thing. Tomorrow, the consequences will begin. But tonight belonged to me. Friday morning, 8:40 a.m. My phone was still off, but the chaos had already begun. Later, I would piece together exactly how it unfolded through voicemails, text threads, and Olivia's own frantic recounting. It started with a single phone call that shattered her perfect wedding week. Margaret from the Newberry estate called Olivia at 9 a.m. Miss Miller? We have a situation with your final payment. The wire transfer was canceled yesterday, and we need to resolve this immediately, or we'll have to release your Saturday booking. Olivia's first reaction was confusion, not panic. Banking error, maybe? She called Chase Bank, spent 45 minutes on hold, only to be told that the account holder, me, had personally canceled all wedding-related transactions. That's when the first wave of vendor calls hit. David from Harmony Strings called at 10. The contract cancellation came through yesterday. We've already booked another gig for Saturday, so we won't be available even if this gets resolved. Premier Events Catering. Botanical Bliss Florals. The photographer. One by one, they all called with the same message. Payments canceled, contracts void, Saturday unavailable. By noon, Olivia was in full panic mode. My voicemail filled up with her calls. The first one, at 12:30 p.m. Hey Ava, something weird is happening with the wedding payments. Can you call me back? I'm sure it's just a mix-up. By the fifth call, at 2 p.m. Ava, seriously, I need you to call me back right now. This isn't funny anymore. The 23rd call, at 6:45 p.m. AVA. What the hell is going on?
How could you do this to me?
The wedding is tomorrow. Tomorrow. Call me back or I swear to God. I listened to them all the next morning, sipping coffee in my pajamas, feeling remarkably calm. The text bombardment was even more revealing. 28 messages in 6 hours, a real-time psychological breakdown. Banking error with wedding payments, call me. Why aren't you answering? Ava, this is serious. The venue might cancel. Are you ignoring me? I know you're seeing these. You're being childish. This is my wedding day. How could you be so selfish? Please just call me back. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but please don't ruin my wedding. Ava, answer your phone. By Thursday evening, she'd called Mom and Dad. Within minutes, my phone showed missed calls from both parents. I let them go to voicemail too. Dad's message, Ava, honey, your sister is very upset. Whatever's going on, we need to fix this as a family. Call me back. Mom's message, Ava Marie Miller, you call me back this instant. I don't know what's gotten into you, but this is not the time for whatever tantrum you're throwing. Friday morning brought the intervention. At 8 a.m. sharp, my doorbell rang. Then again. Then someone knocked.
Hard. Ava.
We know you're in there. Mom's voice, sharp with panic. Open this door right now. I put down my coffee and walked to the door, but I didn't open it. I can't hear you, I said through the wood. What do you want? What do we want? Dad's voice, incredulous. We want to know how you could do this to your sister. She's counting on you. And there it was. The same language they'd always used. Ava's responsible. Ava will handle it. Ava's counting on you. She was counting on my money, not me. There's a difference. Don't be ridiculous, Mom snapped. This is about family. You can't just abandon family when they need you most. Where was family when I needed them? When I needed emotional support, recognition, or just basic consideration. I've been abandoned by this family for 28 years. I'm just finally accepting it, and you both enabled and encouraged it. They stayed for another 30 minutes, alternating between guilt trips and threats. I stayed inside, making breakfast, completely unbothered by their increasingly desperate pleas. Over the next 24 hours, my phone logged 187 missed calls. The breakdown. Olivia, 89 calls. Mom, 47 calls. Ethan, 23 calls. Various friends and relatives, 28 calls. The voicemails evolved like stages of grief. Confusion gave way to anger, anger to bargaining, bargaining to desperate pleading. By Saturday morning, Olivia was sobbing into my voicemail, begging me to please just help her this one time. This one time. As if the previous 8 years of constant financial support had never happened. Friday evening, the night before the wedding, brought call number 188. A three-way with my parents. Mom started immediately. Ava, you're being completely unreasonable. Do you want to embarrass Olivia in front of Ethan's entire family? Let me get this straight, I said, my voice steady as steel. I've financially supported this family for 8 years. I assisted Olivia in college when you couldn't. I covered Dad's $12,000 dental emergency when the restaurant was struggling. I send you $1,500 every month to keep the lights on. I almost gave $93,000 to make Olivia's dream wedding happen. But when it comes to actually celebrating this dream I was about to fund, I'm not important enough for one of 8 spots. Silence. Olivia's yoga instructor gets invited, but I don't. A coworker she's known for 8 months gets a seat, but the person who made it all possible doesn't. You want to talk about embarrassing? The embarrassing thing is that it took me 28 years to realize I'm not family. I'm just your emergency fund. Dad started to respond. Now, sweetheart, that's not. I hung up. An hour later, there was a soft knock at my door. Not the aggressive pounding from yesterday, but something gentler. Ava? It's Chloe. Chloe Matthew, Olivia's college roommate and maid of honor. I'd always liked her. She was direct, honest, and had never asked me for money. I opened the door. She looked exhausted. Can I come in? I stepped aside. She sat on my couch and sighed deeply. I think Olivia made a terrible mistake, she said quietly. I even offered to give up my spot so you could come. You know what she said? I waited. She said you'd understand. That you were not really the wedding type anyway. That you'd probably be more comfortable watching the live stream. Even knowing my sister as well as I did, that still stung. Chloe, I appreciate you coming here, but I'm not here to change your mind, she interrupted. I'm here because what you did took incredible courage, and I wanted you to know that someone sees it. We talked for another hour. Two women recognizing an impossible situation, respecting each other's positions even when they led to different conclusions. As she left, Chloe paused at the door. For what it's worth, the community center looked fine, and Olivia seemed to realize what she'd lost. Too late, but she realized. I hope you have a lovely time, Chloe, but my decision stands. She nodded. I know. Take care of yourself, Ava, she said as she left to go prepare for the wedding the next day. Before I tell you what happened next, can I just say, if this story is hitting close to home, please hit that subscribe button. And if you don't subscribe, drop a comment telling me why not. I genuinely want to know what stops people from hitting that button. While I was enjoying my peaceful Saturday morning, Olivia's dream wedding was imploding in real time. The Newberry estate had given her until Friday at 5 p.m. for full payment. When that deadline passed, they released the date immediately. No negotiation, no payment plan, no sympathy for the bride who'd been planning this for months. By Friday morning, Olivia was scrambling to find any available venue for Saturday. The only place that could accommodate 30 people on 24 hours' notice? The community center next to our parents' restaurant. The same bland, beige room where I'd attended middle school graduation ceremonies and church potluck dinners. The 8-piece jazz band? Also gone. They'd already booked another wedding. Olivia ended up with a Spotify playlist and rented speakers from Guitar Center, operated by Leo, our 18-year-old brother who'd never DJ'd anything more complex than a house party. Instead of farm-to-table gourmet catering, guests were treated to Costco sandwich platters and grocery store flower arrangements that Olivia and Mom assembled themselves at 6 a.m. that morning. Meanwhile, I was living my best life. I'd booked a full day at Sanctuary Spa in Bellevue, the works. Deep tissue massage, European facial, meditation session, the luxury package I'd been promising myself for 2 years but never indulged in because what if someone needs emergency money? For 6 hours, I was completely disconnected from family drama, immersed in eucalyptus steam rooms and cucumber-infused water, getting pampered by professionals who were paid to make me feel valued. I posted one photo on Instagram, my feet in the spa's Zen garden caption, investing in what matters. Within an hour, it had more likes and supportive comments than any post I'd ever made. Colleagues from work, college friends, even my neighbor left encouraging messages. You deserve this. Self-care queen. About time. The wedding, meanwhile, was a disaster that became local legend. Ethan's family walked into that community center expecting Newberry estate elegance. Instead, they found folding chairs, fluorescent lighting, and the lingering smell of last night's bingo game. Ethan's mother, Patricia Williams, was overheard telling another guest, I'm concerned about Olivia's financial stability. This level of disorganization suggests serious money management issues. The irony was perfect. Olivia, who'd never managed a budget in her life, was now being judged for financial incompetence while I, the person who'd actually handled all her finances, was getting a couple's massage with cucumber eye masks. Back home, the gossip mill was ruthless. Our small community had been talking about the Miller wedding for months. When word spread about the venue change and vendor drama, speculation ran wild. Some people assumed financial problems, others whispered about family feuds. Several friends who'd been disinvited to make room for the yoga instructor started questioning Olivia's priorities publicly. Mia, the college roommate who'd taken my family spot, posted a passive-aggressive Instagram story. When you realize some people's loyalty has a price tag. Over the following months, Olivia sent me 47 emails.
I know because I counted them.
The subject lines told their own story. Can we talk? Evolved to, I'm sorry. Evolved to, please respond. Evolved to, I know I messed up. I eventually replied that I'll call her when I'm ready to talk things through. I maintained one boundary with my parents. I continued paying their mortgage, a promise I'd made during Dad's health scare, but every other form of support stopped. No more monthly restaurant supplements, no more emergency bailouts, no more being the family ATM. The only family member who reached out with genuine understanding was Leo. 6 months later, he called me from college. "I never realized how much you did for everyone," he said. "Watching Mom and Dad scramble to cover the restaurant costs that you used to handle? I get it now. Olivia was wrong, and I'm sorry it took me so long to see it." 1 year later, my life had transformed completely. I got promoted again with a $40,000 raise. I was finally earning what I was worth and keeping what I earned. Robert and I had been dating for 8 months. He appreciated my generosity without exploiting it, and more importantly, he gave as much as he took. When I mentioned I'd never been to Vancouver, he planned a weekend trip. When I was stressed about a work deadline, he showed up with groceries and cooked dinner. Reciprocity was a revelation. Olivia, my parents, and I rebuilt our relationship slowly, on completely new terms. They visit occasionally, and we have pleasant dinners where no one asks me to solve anyone else's problems. It took them losing my financial support to realize I'd been a daughter, not just a bank account. Olivia's marriage, meanwhile, was struggling under the weight of financial stress and trust issues. Ethan's family had never fully accepted her after the wedding disaster, and money arguments had become their primary form of communication. Looking back, I realized something profound. I learned that when your presence is negotiable, so should your effort be. I stopped setting myself on fire to keep people warm who wouldn't even invite me to sit by their fireplace. I know some of you are thinking, I could never do this to my family. But ask yourself, when was the last time they chose you when it mattered? If this story gave you even a tiny bit of courage to set one boundary in your own life, hit subscribe. And if you're one of those people who watched this whole thing and still won't subscribe, at least tell me in the comments what's stopping you. I'm genuinely curious.